Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. And my name is MUHAMAD IKHWAN, and I will introduce about the tak nak scam campaign. For the introduction, what is scam? A scammer is someone who commits or participates in a fraudulent scheme or operation. They are making a living through the use of an unlawful method, specifically through tricking people. For example, the scammers use phishing to get financial institution account numbers, credit scorecard info, and else from different person. As much as we work hard for our money, scammers work hard to fool us out of it too. Scammers often find praise through the variety of financial and telecommunication services as well as online and social media platforms available today, which make them appear convincing even the less gullible among us. There are 5 common types of scams in Malaysia, and the red flags to take note of to protect your personal information and hard-earned money. The first type of scam is Macau scam. Macau scam is a type of telecommunication fraud that usually involves a phone call from someone who claims to be a government official, police, or bank officer. Next is Big Pay. Big Pay is a payment system owned by AirAsia that allows users to make a payment via a prepaid card or mobile app. Scammers typically impersonate a Big Pay staff, asking for your personal details and OTP to claim your price or upgrade your card. There are many different forms of social media scams, but arguably the most common of all this is the phishing scam. Phishing scam is a type of cyber attack where perpetrators impersonate legitimate organizations or individuals you may know via email, text, direct messages, advertisement, or other means to trick the person into revealing sensitive information. Next is source of the problem. Scammers are becoming more sophisticated with their tactics with the hopes that people let their guard down. Federation of Malaysian Consumers Association (FOMCA) has been receiving approximately 450 complaints and inquiries related to scams since January. Based on the observation, these scammers take advantage of vulnerable consumers, and surprisingly, some of the victims are highly educated. It is becoming more difficult to differentiate between a scam and a legitimate business. Next is the responsible agencies. One of the responsible agencies is Bank Negara Malaysia. As well as we all know, Bank Negara is Malaysia's central bank and it focuses on financial scams. For this reason, any money-related matters are governed by them, and this includes investigating financial scams as well. Next, the responsible agency for scam crime is Malaysian Communication and Multimedia Commission, MCMC, and it is focused on cyber scams. While scams mostly involve stealing people's money, they can also come in other forms. Lastly, the responsible agency for scam crime in Malaysia is Ministry of Domestic Trade and Consumer Affairs, KPDNHEP, and it is focused on consumer-related scams.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Muhammad Haykal bin Yusni. So for tak nak scam campaign program background, Facebook Malaysia and Commercial Crime Investigation Department of Malaysian Police have launched hashtag tak nak scam campaign, a national anti-scam awareness campaign that was commenced from July to September this year. According to PDRM records, cybercrime has increased drastically in Malaysia over the last 5 years, with a total of almost 68,000 cases of cyber fraud registered from 2017 until 2021. In Malaysia, it is said that bank and identity impersonation are the most common sort of financial scams. Needless to say, taking preventative actions it is preferable rather than finding a solution to the problem. Lastly, the most important element for this campaign to be held is because Malaysia and other countries are globally shifting and adapting to the emerged technologies. Moving on to initiatives of the campaign, there are 3 important steps for consumers in Malaysia to stay vigilant in the digital world to avoid being scammed. The first step is spot. Consumers need to identify if there is any suspicion of the person or the business displayed. For example, when a product such a bike was listed at a very low price, then the consumers must identify whether the bike is legitimate or not. Therefore, when consumers are well aware of this situation, they can avoid themselves from being scammed. The second one is checking suspicious activity with authorities through official channels. This is because the concerned ministry, which is Ministry of Domestic Trade and Affairs, had provided a medium for consumers to do a background check on the business to identify whether the business is being monitored by the ministry due to complaints received. The last initiative is reporting suspicious activity to the concerned authorities. If the consumers will scam and trade in any matters that involve scam, they can file a report to Polis Raja di Malaysia PDRM. Moving on to initiatives of the campaign, there are 3 important steps for consumers in Malaysia to stay vigilant in the digital world to avoid being scammed. The first step is spot. Consumers need to identify if there is any suspicion of the person or the business displayed. For example, when a product such a bike was listed at a very low price, then the consumers must identify whether the bike is legitimate or not. Therefore, when consumers are well aware of this situation, they can avoid themselves from being scammed. The second one is checking suspicious activity with authorities through official channels. This is because the concerned ministry, which is Ministry of Domestic Trade and Affairs, had provided a medium for consumers to do a background check on the business to identify whether the business is being monitored by the ministry due to complaints received. The last initiative is reporting suspicious activity to the concerned authorities. If the consumers will scam and trade in any matters that involve scam, they can file a report to Polis Raja di Malaysia PDRM. So for the objective of the campaign, the main objective of this campaign is to raise the awareness of Malaysians on how serious is cybercrime are happening around us. This campaign aims to educate the people of Malaysia to become more mindful when participating in the virtual world. Therefore, when Malaysians are fully aware on how big the virtual world possesses a threat, and the campaign is the first step to increase the awareness among consumers in Malaysia. Other objective of this campaign is to inform the consumers in Malaysia the platform provided by the government agency for consumers to file a report. For example, Ministry of Trade and Domestic Affairs had provided a website for consumers to file a report, which then later the report will be entertained by an investigating officer. So for the significance of the campaign, the significance of this campaign is to ensure safety of all consumers in Malaysia, since many people had shifted to e-commerce activity since the global outbreak of COVID-19. Thus, with knowledge gained from this campaign, we can avoid such things happen to any consumers in the community. Furthermore, this campaign holds a great significance in reducing the existing scam cases in Malaysia. This is because the number of scam cases has been rising rapidly, and with the commencement of this campaign, it is hoped to reduce the number of scam cases after the campaign was established. Thank you.
Assalamualaikum, my name is MUHAMAD ISKANDAR bin HAMZAH. I will present mechanism to prevent scam according to Tanak Scam Campaign Program. One of the mechanism to prevent scam in e-commerce stated is choose a credible website and online marketplace. Malaysian citizens tend to do online shopping by using credible website because of the mechanism to prevent scam provided from the platform. Buyer can be influenced by sources' credibility. In other words, sources' credibility concern the degree of which a recipient perceive the information source as believable, competent and trustworthy. Tanak Scam Campaign encourage to use familiar marketplace, for example, Shopee. Eliminates any scam or fraud attempt using the Shopee Guarantee function. Shopee Guarantee is a secure payment service where all the payment will flow through Shopee, where it will stay and be released only after both buyer and seller have fulfilled their commitment. Let me explain the process of the function. Buyer had paid upfront in full amount for the product purchase before seller are being notified to ship the product. After that, seller need to ship it out the product within the day to ship period set. Next, upon receipt of the item, buyer have time to inspect the item and they can check the condition as advertised. Buyer could request for refund if product received is not in satisfactory condition. Once the buyer is satisfied with their purchase, tapping on order received, then the payment will release to the seller. However, need to keep in mind that by tapping the order receipt button, the payment will be released to the seller and buyer can no longer request for return or refund. In summary, individuals should buy product online from credible website and online marketplace because they provide some level of security for both seller and buyer, such as Shopee Guarantee, in order to avoid scammer. Other than that, mechanism to prevent scam in illegal investment that stated in Tanak Scam Campaign is only deal with the licensed financial institution. In the world of investing, it is important for us to deal with individual or company that have license issued by Security Commission Malaysia so as not to be deceived by fake stock and scammers. Investor can check the licensing status by entering the name of individual or company at Security Commission Malaysia online portal. Investor able to monitor investor alert list prepared by SC in order to aware of this illegal investment scam. Importantly, each of the alert lists have been stated remark of their modus operandi. For example, of the alert list is Madinah Mining, which is carrying on regulated activity of fund management without license, misrepresentation, misuse of SC name and logo, and provide illegal investment scheme offering high return such as return of 2,250 in 2 days with investment of 500. Therefore, people will have information about company that make illegal investment scam that and their type of business. This is crucial for the new investor deal with individual or company who have a license issued by SC. Other than that, new investor also able to check through Bank Negara Malaysia Financial Consumer Alert List, which list entities and scheme that did not obtain the approval of BNM. If any individual or party have been deceived, they need to report immediately to BNM or SC and the police if there is a monetary loss. The public also advised to keep every document, receipt or payment slip and any proof of transaction. This is important so that authorities can curb the fraudulent activity involved, conduct the investigation and take enforcement and prosecution action.
Next, I'm gonna explain about the SWOT analysis of Tanak Scam Campaign. Firstly, the strength. The strength of this campaign is a collaboration between public sector and private sector. Both sectors play an important role in combating issue of scammer that has been rising from 2020 until 2021. This collaboration is to lift online rip-off and cybercrime consciousness, encourage extra interplay, and empower individuals to take motion. The collaboration has divided the agency and private sector to have their own duty. As an example, the duty of Royal Malaysian Police is to take action from the lodged report made by the victim for them to investigate. Facebook will try to educate and create awareness regarding the scammer issues in online media platform. This is show that every agency involved has their own duty in preventing scammer in Malaysia. The weaknesses of the campaign is lack of promotion. It cannot be denied that collaboration from private and public sector are making this campaign is going to be attention to Malaysian people. But if there is no promotion made by those parties involved, people will unconscious regarding the campaign that can help them to avoid from being scammed. Promotion is very important as to notice those target audience to ensure that the audience will keep in touch with the campaign throughout the campaign held. Furthermore, lack of promotion can cause the objective of the campaign cannot be achieved easily. To ensure the successfulness of campaign, involvement of public is needed because public will help in collecting information, sharing experiences that can improve the campaign. As for the opportunity, it will help increasing the growth of e-commerce platform. If tak nak scam campaign achieve their objective, it will directly boost the growth of e-commerce. It because when people feel secure with any online transaction or they can prevent from being scammed, consumer will keep on using the e-commerce platform since the e-commerce platform providing lot of stuff that consumer able to find it easily and purchase it. It also provides opportunity to unemployment worker to get job. It means when people started their business, they will feel secure with the features, awareness provided by the government to avoid them from being scammed in e-commerce platform. In addition, government also provide training program to join e-commerce platform in Penjana Initiative 2020. This will help people to have their income and also help the government to reduce the unemployment rate in Malaysia. Lastly, the threat toward this campaign is unexpected situation, which is something that is unpredictable and it may affect the country. First, Malaysia has faced a huge wave of pandemic COVID-19 that caused government make a movement control order MCO to control the spread of virus. When MCO was made, people didn't allow to go out, and this will increase the online transaction and online purchasing in people's daily life. It become threat because high traffic in online transaction will make scammer will take advantage. In addition, government during that time didn't launch the tak nak scam campaign that makes public didn't know their modus operandi or what to do if being scammed. Secondly, political instability. Around 2 years, we have changed government more than 2 times from Pakatan Harapan to Perikatan Nasional and lastly to Barisan Nasional. Change of government will cause tak nak scam campaign will not be continue or new campaign will be introduced. This will give harm to the public since the policy maker keep changing that makes a scammer can take advantage during the political instability.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Muhammad ALIUDDIN BAHARUN. So for my point is about challenge of tak nak scam campaign. There is 3 challenge that I would like to highlight. The first one is the short period time for this campaign. The tak nak scam campaign duration will be ongoing for 3 months only, which is from July until September 2021. The short duration of the campaign will affect the effectiveness of this campaign vision and mission. So the shorter the campaign, the more ineffective it can be. The tak nak scam campaign should be held longer, more than 3 months to see the result. The second challenge that I would like to highlight is about the modus operandi, which will keep changing. Modus operandi of this type of crime which will always try to change and to blend in with current age. It will make difficult to see the result of the campaign. For example, Macau Scam Syndicate. Macau Scam Syndicate in 2021, their modus operandi is they will posing as insurance officer to deceive the public. In 2021, there are at least 3 cases of Macau scam where its member posed as insurance officer. While in earlier 2022, the Macau Scam Syndicate will calling it return to inform that they receive incentive or assistance from government to deceive their victim. They will use this to make sure their victim send the online banking username and password and take money from them. So for the third challenge of Tak Nak Scam campaign, which is ignorance of society. Ignorance can be defined as a lack of knowledge or training. Ignorance of society comes from the public or society place too much trust or too dependence on the government. The society believe that the issues such as scam, crime that arise will be solved by the government or the authority as possible. The ignorance of society also come because of the rise of social media. The society believe more on fake news in social media than the advice from the expert on this matter.
The first recommendation and solution for this campaign is extend the period of the campaign. As everyone knows, the campaign ran for 3 months from 1st July of 2021 to September 2021. This program a very short, and the internet users right now in Malaysia that are currently using internet is 29.04 million. That's make it impossible for a 3 months campaign to do any tangible results and benefit for the nation. The reason why there are many people that went to the internet right now because people are willing or unwillingly force themselves to go to the internet and spend some time online to kill their burden at home. This make it the number very high. The ridiculous short time amount make it almost impossible for the campaign to be determined as success. So, as solution, we come up with a time period of year is seen as reasonable because during this time, the organizer can collect many data as much as possible. For second recommendation is set better objective. From the first glance, we can see from this campaign is the purpose or the main objective of this campaign is to create awareness and alert people about the danger of online scams that are currently happening in Malaysia. The organizer of the campaign must use better objectives of the campaigns to ensure the campaign legitimacy will not be criticized harshly by other people. That means the objective of the campaign must be restructured back to be more precise or more detailed. For that, we recommend by determining the possible culprit of the scams or reduce the overall online scam in the 4th quarter of 2021 as the recommendation. And for information, for the past 2 years, the amount of loss suffered by the victims of online scam increased from 58 million to 258 million from 2019 to 28 million. The third and final recommendation and solution for this campaign is improve official online portals. Nowadays, many campaigns and programs have using online platform to connect with the target audience more easily and very fast. This is because many social media or online platform have a very large audience and very fast internet and easy, much more accessible to contact compared to face-to-face meeting. Some online platform even goes even further by have the ability to dissect and separate the large number of people based on the various demographic. This is the exact problem with the Tak Nak Scam campaign online portal. The interface of the campaign is very basic and bare bone. There's no ever information like the list of phone number that scammer use that visitor can verify whether they have been contacting or not. This make it the entire portal very lackluster. For that, we recommend providing the main portal with the list of scammers that currently operate, also improve their information transfer from the organizer to target audience far more effectively. We also recommend by listing the company or the organization that have been targeted, that have been panned by the police and be recognized as a scammer organization.
In conclusion, there are those today that are willing to do anything to earn money and to get rich in the easy way. Some may feel so desperate to get a job or to be loved by somebody, but caution is still necessary to prevent us from falling into the fraudster's hands. Always be careful when it comes to online job or online dating, or else fraud will always exist. It can be found everywhere across the space of the internet, such as in email, on social networks, and on various and sundry websites. Over the years, cyber criminals have invented new tactics, but the scams are ultimately the same. Only users themselves can guarantee their own protection in the virtual space. Thank you.